Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from, ta-da, the Overflow room, and we are still working on Puccini. Oh, so much Puccini. It's so lovely and luscious. First, what have we got here? Puccini Heroines with Leontyne Price. Haven't even unwrapped this one. That's because I have the big Leontyne Price box. It's got all the same stuff in it. This is just a rearrangement or recoupling. Stuff from La Boheme, Edgar, Tosca, Madame Butterfly, let's see, La Fanciulla del West, and Gianni Schicchi, and all that good stuff. Her big Puccini roles actually were Tosca, and let me see, what else did she do? Madame Butterfly, I think. She did that well. Il Tabarro, which was terrific. Yeah, I mean, wonderful. This is the essential collection of classical music's greatest works and critically acclaimed performances. Oh, this is the Red Seal Classic Library. Yeah, so that's nice to have. Why not? And then we've got Tosca. Oh, this is weird. This is a weird Tosca. I like this because it has Galina Vishnevskaya as Tosca. She's a wonderful Tosca. I mean, she's dramatic and passionate and intense and a little screechy. And Franco Bonisoli is Cavaradossi. Bonisoli was one of those tenors. I mean, he had a really nice sound quality. He had that Italianate ping to his voice that people, like to talk about. He didn't have as huge a career on disc because he was kind of eclipsed by Franco Corelli and those guys. But in Carlo Bergonzi and Giuseppe Di Stefano, yeah, that's the guy. All those Italian guys. But he was a good tenor, and so he's Mario. And you've got, let's see, Scarpia is Matteo Managuerra, and they've got some other people in here who don't matter. This is the Orchestre Nationale de France under Rostropovich, who was sort of learning his trade as a conductor at the time. He was conducting these operas with Vishnevskaya, and she did not like to work with him as a conductor, actually, because she had her preferred conductors at the Bolshoi who were far more experienced. But when they left Russia particularly, although this was, I think, a little bit before then, this was in 1976, or right around then. I mean, it was all that period. They formed quite a powerful team. And so here we have this kind of odd Tosca that people have not really talked about much, but it's very enjoyable. It's very passionate. It's a little eccentric tempo-wise, and, there's a lot of good screaming going on. Then we have Pops Plays Puccini. Yeah, Puccini Without Words. Here's the big Puccini Without Words disc with Eric Kunzel, the Cincinnati Pops. Oh, it's just yummy. I mean, what do you want? One of you pointed out in the comments that the reason Puccini works so well without words is because he often doubles the vocal line in the orchestra. So actually, the way Puccini's arias usually work is that the orchestra gets the tune, and the voice gradually sort of adds bits of it. They come in, the voice comes in with parts of the tune, and then finally at the big climax, everybody does it together. And it's the only time that the voice actually gets the whole tune. I mean, the classic example of that is, In Questa Regia from Turandot, where it's just, my Nessun Mavra, the orchestra's going along, yeah, da, 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 da. Then she goes, oh, da, da, then she doesn't, the orchestra goes and does another bit. And then finally, at the climax, she just lets rip with the whole tune. It's just tremendous. Absolutely wonderful. Anyway, so that's Kunzel and the Pops doing Puccini, and it's delicious. And here is the remastering on SACD of Turandot. I mean, Turandot has many controversies about how you pronounce it. Is it Turandot, Turandot, with a T at the end? The best way to do it is to pretend that there's a T at the end so that people can't tell whether you're putting it in or not. Turandot. It's like, was the T there? Wasn't it there? Don't worry about it. It's Birgit Nielsen, Renata Tebaldi, Jussi Björling, one of the classics. Absolutely amazing with Erich Leinsdorf, and it sounds great. I mean, the orchestra is that, screechy Italian orchestra, but what the hell, right? Oh, and then we've got, this is the Met Opera production under Kurt Adler with Leontyne Price, and as Tosca, obviously, and Cornell McNeil as Scarpia, and Cavaradossi as Franco Corelli. Yeah, this is a screech fest. This was April 7th, 1962. All the soloists were in their prime, and she had just made her Met debut. And oh my goodness, was this fun? This is a radio broadcast with Kurt Adler conducting, and here it is. It's pretty stunning. I mean, it really is pretty amazingly stunning. Then we've got, let's see, Le Villi, early Puccini with Leo Nucci, Renato Scotto, Placido Domingo, and Tito Gobi at the very end of his career. And who's conducting this? I think it's Lauren Mazel, who could be just weird with the Philharmonia. But this is fun to have. It really is. The whole opera is like 45 minutes long. It's a witches story sort of thing. It's supernatural things hopping about. It's got some very pretty music in it because it's Puccini. How could it not? And then we have the Mazel Il Trittico, which has some really fine performances in it. Il Tabarro is Scotto, Domingo, and Ingvar Vixel. And Sur Angelica is Scotto. Marilyn Horne is La Principessa. Oh, she's wonderful. Iliana Kotrubas. So that's really good. And Gianni Schicchi is Tito Gobi, Iliana Kotrubas, and Placido Domingo. Fine cast. Again, Mazel does odd things with tempos now and again, but it's not bad. I mean, it's really, the singing's great. And, Renata Scotto was one of those Kunst diva, terribly underrated because her voice started to go, but she was a brilliant singer. I remember seeing her in that horribly reviewed, pardon me, Lady Macbeth, in Verdi's Macbeth, and everybody trashed the production, and I kind of understood why. And she wasn't supposed to be that great either. She was past her prime. She did a mad scene that had everybody spellbound. I mean, she was a powerful singer and a tiny person. When she was all alone on that vast stage doing the Lady Macbeth's mad scene, it was sold. So I don't know. Maybe on records it wouldn't have come out as well, but live it was something special. Then we've got, let's see, what's this? Here's the Il Tabarro with Leontine Price, Cheryl Milnes, Placido Domingo, with Leinsdorf and the Philharmonia. It's coupled to Pagliacci with Caballé, Domingo, and Milnes. These are both wonderful performances. The Tabarro never got much attention because it was separate. It became separate from the rest of Il Trittico. And so it was a solo release, and people didn't really know about it or pay much attention to it. But Price is in terrific form, and it's a gripping performance. And the Pagliacci is really hot too. Then we've got this one, Tosca, with Lauren Mazel again. He did a lot of Puccini with the Santa Cecilia Orchestra and Birgit Nielsen, Franco Corelli, and Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. Aside from Corelli, this is like all the wrong people. And I think it's just terrific. It's fun to listen to. And again, today, it used to be that there was like a huge thing among the opera aficionadi about, what was idiomatic and what wasn't. And now, in a way, we're sort of post-idiomatic because everybody sings everything and all the idiomatic people are dead. So, these earlier recordings where they just took the best singers they could get and said, hey, do Tosca. They did. And it was fun to listen to. It may not be your favorite. It may not be Callas de Sabata or whatever, but still, it's a lot of fine singing. And then we've got Madame Flutterby, or Butterthing, the butterfly here, yes, with the classic Toti Dal Monte and Beniamino Gigli. Gigli, this is a classic recording, of course. It's with the, let's see, Oliviero di Fabritis conducting, recorded on 32 sides, 78 sides by HFE in 1939. Fortunately, Puccini wrote short operas. That's why we had to wait till LPs before to get a Wagner ring. It would be on 175, 78 sides. Who's going to buy it? You couldn't even carry it in your car. It would be like moving a piano. Anyway, Toti Del Monte was famous as Butterfly because she had this teeny tiny, cute little girlish voice. She was like the ultimate little girl Puccini butterfly. And my opera queen, aficionado friends always insisted that I had to have this Bed and Butterfly. And, I'm glad I got it. It's fun to listen to once every 30 or 40 years, I think. So there you go. That's this batch of Puccini. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.